मैं ज्वाइन करूँगा। मैसेज कहाँ पे है? ये आपका
देख रहे हैं क्लास होगा ऑनलाइन। शिवम सिंह ऑनलाइन कर रही है, बाद में हमको लेगा। देख रहे हैं क्लास होगा ऑनलाइन। शिवम सिंह ऑनलाइन कर रही है, बाद में हमको लेगा। देख रहे हैं क्लास होगा ऑनलाइन। शिवम सिंह ऑनलाइन कर रही है, बाद में हमको लेगा। देख रहे हैं क्लास होगा ऑनलाइन। शिवम सिंह ऑनलाइन कर रही है, बाद में हमको लेगा। देख रहे हैं
Hello everyone. Guys, do not turn on your camera and please mute yourself and do not try to present your screen. Okay, and we will wait till 6:10 so that everybody can join. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I will be unmute within 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, Jason, we are waiting for some more people to join. Just wait for 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah, I think it will be fine. Okay, hello everyone, guys. Good evening to all of you. Myself Shivam Singh, and I am your instructor for this particular boot camp. And if you join the course, so I am your instructor for complete AI course. Okay. So, from my personal background, so I have completed my BTech from computer science I completed that in last year, that is in 2018. After that, I used to write blogs on some specific topics related to deep learning and all that. So I am blog writer also. After that, I joined IT Skills and Solution as a machine learning and you can say AI trainer. And so from past 1 year, I am working as a AI trainer and as a machine learning researcher also. Okay. So this is my complete introduction, and I share you my social media sites also. So if you want, you can read my blogs. You can reach out at me with on my social media. You can see my GitHub profile as well. Okay. So for this boot camp, in this boot camp, I think we have already shared you a PDF file on which you already see that what we are going to cover in these 3 days. Okay, so we are going to cover like the complete machine learning tasks. So the whole idea behind this boot camp is to show you something like a multi-class image classification. That is one kind of a model. Okay, so if you want to classify between different kind of people or between different kind of animals, so how your machine, how your deep learning model, or how your machine learning model is used to classify that kinds of thing, you will learn. And so for that purpose, for that purpose, we need to learn some basic things like we need to learn some basics of machine learning. And although we all know that that is not possible within some idea, you will definitely get a glimpse of these buzzing words like what is machine learning and what is deep learning, and uh, some of more interesting terms like what is supervised, unsupervised, classification, regression, and all these things. Okay. If you guys stuck somewhere, so you can definitely ask your query in a chat box. Our team is happy to help you guys at any time. And after 1 hour, means after 7:30, I can unmute some of you guys. Okay, so not an issue. Okay, so starting from machine learning, that what is machine learning? So there are some definitions like machine learning is a science, or machine learning is a kind of art of programming computers so that they can learn from data. Okay. And one more definition is like machine learning is more likely to find out the patterns in your data. Okay, so you have a large amount of data, and machine learning used to find the patterns in that particular data. Okay, so these are the few definitions which I have learned in from my experience. Before that, there are two definitions which are given by godfather of machine learning. That is, machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Okay, this is one definition. And another one is a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some task T, and performance measure P, if its performance on T as measure P improves with experience T. So I will explain this whole definition because I know this is very new for you guys. So I think most of you guys are from you can easily can easily means learn if I tell something in Hindi. So if you guys are comfortable with both the language, then please tell me in the chat box so that if you guys are comfortable in both the language, Hindi or English, or maybe in one language, so that I can proceed in the same language. Otherwise, this may be a problem for you guys. Okay, both go ahead, both English. Okay, okay, fine. Some are asking in English, some are asking Hindi, and means I think I can say that you guys are comfortable in both the languages. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So actually, machine learning is not actually when we heard a term machine learning, so we just try to imagine like a robot. We are trying to imagine of some kind of thing like self-driving car, but that is not actual machine learning. Basically, these things are come in our mind after I think 21st century or in 21st century. But machine learning, the term is given was given in 1959, and it was in means and the many means although each and every machine learning algorithms are was basically invented before 2000. Okay, so that is not about a robot, that is not only about robot, that is not only about your self-driving cars. Basically the main objective of machine learning is to definitely tell your computer that how the things, how the generally the things behave. Okay, so if I give you some example, like if you want to understand that first definition, so I give you a very good example. Like there is a child. Okay, there is a very small child, and he didn't know that what gives him a pain, what gives him what makes him happy. So he didn't know about that. And there is a cutoff of light in his room, and with curiosity he just put his hand on a candle, and then he learns a pattern from that thing, that whenever there is some light and bright things are there, so don't put hand or don't put your body over that, because it will definitely gives you a harm, or it will definitely gives you a pain. ओके, सो मैं इसी चीज़ को आपको हिंदी में समझाता हूँ कि सपोज कोई छोटा बच्चा है, एंड उसको बेसिकली बिल्कुल नहीं पता है कि किस चीज़ से उसको बेसिकली दर्द होने वाला है, किस चीज़ से उसको नुकसान होगा, और किस चीज़ से उसको बेसिकली खुशी मिलेगी। ओके, एंड उसके घर में बेसिकली लाइट चली जाती है, और वहाँ पे सपोज फिर कैंडल जला दिया जाता है, एंड उसको बिल्कुल कोई नॉलेज नहीं है, एंड वो बस एक जिज्ञासा के बेसिकली क्यूरियोसिटी है उसके मन में, और उसने वो बेसिकली वो गया एंड उसने मोमबत्ती के ऊपर हाथ रखा और उसका हाथ जल गया। ठीक है, सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वो क्या करेगा कि वो अपने दिमाग में एक पैटर्न बना लेगा कि कहीं पे भी अगर मुझे रेड एंड ब्राइट कलर की कोई चीज़ दिखती है, तो इसका मतलब कि वो पेनफुल है, अगर मैं उसको टच करता हूँ तो डेफिनेटली इट विल गिव मी सम पेन। ओके, आफ्टर सम डेज वो बेसिकली किचन में गया, एंड ही सॉ द सेम थिंग, लाइक he saw that stove top burning, and but at that time he is definitely not going to touch that thing. Okay, because the color are same. Okay, and he draws a pattern in his mind that red and bright color give red and anything which generate red and bright which is red and bright in color gives you the pain. Okay, so that is called the ability to learn. Okay, that is, अगर उस बच्चे को बार बार आप जाके या फिर बार बार उसके पेरेंट्स जाके ये चीज समझा दे कि इसके ऊपर हाथ रखने से आप जल जाओगे, इसके ऊपर हाथ रखने से आप जल जाओगे, ईच एंड एवरी टाइम, कभी मोमबत्ती को लेके, कभी कैंडल को लेके, कभी स्टोव टॉप्स को लेके, कभी किसी भी चीज को लेके, मतलब हर एक बार अगर बच्चे को ये बात बताई जाए कि कहाँ पे बेसिकली आप हाथ रखने से आपको पेन होगा, या फिर कहाँ पे आपको आप हाथ रखोगे तो वहाँ पे नहीं होगा. So that is called explicitly programmed. Okay, जो 1959 से पहले हम लोग करते थे. But after machine learning basically it is a field of study that gives the computer the ability to learn. Okay, so machine learning basically ये क्या कर रही है basically that finds out that pattern. Okay, जो आपको red and bright color का जो pattern बच्चे ने अपने दिमाग में जो observation किया, that is the pattern. Okay, so that is not called explicitly programmed. Okay, so this is the definition given by Arthur Samuel in 1959. I think this definition is clear to all of you. Okay, this is the main difference between explicitly programmed anything which is explicitly programmed and anything which is learned automatically. Okay, so this is the difference, and this difference comes in 1959. Okay, after that the definition given by Tom Mitchell. If I want to okay, so if you want to I want to explain the definition to you. Okay, so the very first machine learning application that was spam classification. Okay, so mail classification. So spam mail classification basically वो करता क्या था कि आपको mail आता है and you saw that there are many mails like which have no use. Okay, like there are many spam mails in your mailbox. Okay, so they build a model. दे बिल्ड अ मॉडल जो बेसिकली क्या करेगा, आपको क्लासिफाई करेगा कि यस दिस इज द स्पैम मेल एंड दिस इज द मेल व्हिच इज बेसिकली रिलेवेंट. ओके, सो दे द बेसिकली वो मॉडल इस तरीके से बनाया गया जिसने बेसिकली ये क्लासिफाई करना शुरू किया कि आपके पास जो मेल आ रहा है वो उसमें कितने मेल स्पैम है एंड कितने मेल बेसिकली आपके लिए रिलेवेंट है. Okay, so that was the very first model which was built with the help of machine learning algorithms. Okay, so अब इस केस में आपको जो ये डेफिनेशन बताई जा रही है, कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम इज सेट टू लर्न फ्रॉम एक्सपीरियंस. सो बेसिकली एक्सपीरियंस ई आप हर बार अपने जो आपका जो मॉडल होता है वो बेसिकली लर्न कहाँ से करता है, एक्सपीरियंस से. एक्सपीरियंस से कहाँ से आए, जितने भी बेसिकली जब मॉडल बनाया जा रहा होगा, आई थिंक दैट मॉडल वाज बिल्ड इन 1996. सो बिफोर 1996 जितने भी मेल्स आए होंगे किसी भी पर्टिकुलर एक पर्सन के पास, ठीक है, उन सारे मेल्स का कलेक्शन, दैट द डेटा जो ये 1996 के पहले की डेटा है, सपोज दैट डेटा वाज कलेक्टेड, द डेटा वाज कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम 90 समवेयर 1966 टू 1996 मींस सपोज द 30 years of data. ठीक है, आपके पास 30 साल का डेटा है, सो दैट 30 years of data is called your experience. ठीक है, so that is the experience. So this is the experience which you give to your basically computer. Okay, then we perform some tasks. So task is nothing but a machine learning algorithm. So we train our data with the help of some machine learning algorithm. So we have a large number of algorithms in our machine learning, and with the help of that algorithm we train our data, and then we measure performance of our model. Okay, so they simply with the help of that data we and with the help of that algorithm we build a model, and after building a model we measure that performance of our model, that how good our model is. ठीक है, कि बेसिकली आपका मॉडल अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है, उसकी एक्यूरेसी क्या है, वेदर इट परफॉर्म गुड और बैड. सो we measure our performance. So this is the meaning of experience E with respect to some task T and some performance measure P. And this and I think now the definition is clear. If it's performance on T, okay, so अगर आपका परफॉर्मेंस आपके एल्गोरिदम के अच्छा काम कर रहा है, एंड डेफिनेटली जैसे जैसे आपका डेटा देखो, मशीन लर्निंग के अंदर द मेन थिंग इज योर डेटा. ठीक है, जैसे जैसे आपकी डेटा इंक्रीज होती जाएगी वैसे वैसे आपका परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा होता जाएगा. ठीक है, so improves with the experience key. So this was the definition given by Tom Mitchell in 1997. Okay, so I think both the definition is clear to all of you guys. Okay, so I think if we need out, so write in the chat box. Okay, so this is all about definition of machine learning, which was given by some very good experienced teachers and experienced professors. Then now comes into the machine learning use case. Okay, सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग कि बेसिकली ये सारी चीज़ें जो हम आज हम देख रहे हैं एंड हम आज बूट कैम्प कर रहे हैं और ये चीज़ें हम पढ़ रहे हैं, सो बेसिकली इनका यूज क्या है? ओके, सो व्हाई वी लर्न ऑल दिस थिंग्स? सो बेसिकली दीज आर द यूज केसेस वी लर्न दिस थिंग बिकॉज I think each and every field in today's scenarios, in each and every field, we use machine learning in some scenarios like in your WhatsApp. Okay, so you always see like there is some auto correction facilities there. Okay, auto correction, auto completion facilities there. So that is the application of machine learning. Okay, I think most of you guys observe that thing that right now if somebody send you some mail and if you want to reply that mail, so if you want to if you write just one or two words, so automatically next words after that for the completion of that statement is comes on your screen. So that is the application of machine learning. Okay, so there is lot of things, and basically nowadays we are it's our basic it's our daily routine. Okay, so like you can see that power usage analytics, smart grid measurement, energy demand, okay, like predictive maintenance or aircraft scheduling. Okay, so in each and every scenario like aircraft scheduling, so how to schedule the aircraft or how to demand forecasting, process optimization. Okay, and each and every place. Okay, like demand forecasting is what? Demand forecasting is any kind of demand. Like there is one application of machine learning which is called food demand forecasting. So in your locality there are a lot of people who didn't get food. Okay, so there is one machine learning application which tells you that yes, this is the locality where a lot of people are hungry and they didn't get a proper food. Okay, so you can manage some food for them. Then there is lot of application in healthcare. Yeah, definitely. So in our course also we build a lot of model related to healthcare system. Like there is one model which classify between two types of tumor, which is benign and malignant. Okay, so that model is basically classify and one very interesting model is used to classify the cancer. Okay, so you have some you just put your some symptoms and the machine will tell you that whether you have a cancer or not. Okay, and there is one more thing like a diagnosis. Okay, so you have some symptoms of you put some symptoms and the machine will tell you whether you have a flu or whether you have a high fever or whether you have a cold or anything. Okay, so these are the application in basically in healthcare industry. Then yes, credit. Then there is in financial services like credit card fraud detection. So there are a lot of transaction going on and the machine will tell you that this transaction is basically a fraudulent or not. Okay, so that is called fraud detection. So basically that is one of the model, and each and every case in cell production. Okay, so there is I think in nowadays in at every place like at every mall basically they give you a task, so you can predict the cells. Okay, so how to basically they see how they can increase their cells with the help of your model. Okay, so there are lots and lots of use case of machine learning. Okay, the next thing is like what are the tasks in basically machine learning? Okay, so there are two kind of a task like and yes, and we will also see the stock price prediction. They are also use case of machine learning. Stock price prediction, score prediction, and we all also predicted that which team will win or which team will lose. So basically they are also the use case of machine learning. Then there is something called there's some different kind of task in machine learning. So one of the task is like supervised learning. Okay, so what is supervised learning? So basically, I can explain this thing with my this. Okay, so there is basically two type of task in machine learning. One is called a supervised learning. Okay, so one is called a supervised learning and another one is called unsupervised learning. Okay, so first see what is supervised learning. So basically in supervised learning you have some training data. Okay, like suppose you want to predict whether mm, a patient having a cancer or not. Okay, so you have some data like you have some okay, you have some symptoms like a person sugar level. Okay, so sugar level is one feature. Then blood pressure. Okay, this is again one feature. So there are some feature like sugar level, blood pressure, and on the basis of these two features, there are a lot of features, but I consider only these two features right now. So there are two features, and on the basis of these two you want to predict whether the person having a cancer or not. Okay, so basically in this supervised learning you have this feature terms like the sugar level. Okay, so you have some sugar level of patients. Okay, like in blood pressure of patients, and you have this data also, yes or no. Okay, yes or no, you have this label data also. So this data, this feature C, whether the person is having cancer or not, this label is called sorry, this feature is called a label. Okay, and this is called a target variable. Label as well as this is called a target variable. Okay, and this these are all the things are your features, like this is your feature. So feature one, feature two, and this is again this is also called a dependent variable, and these two features are called independent variable. सो अब यहाँ पे आप करते क्या हो बेसिकली, इन दो फीचर्स के आप बेसिकली आपके पास सपोज ये 100 पेशेंट्स का डेटा होगा, आपके पास 100 पेशेंट्स का डेटा होगा, एंड अब आप क्या करोगे बेसिकली यहाँ पे आप अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन करोगे, ठीक है। अब आपको पता है कि आपके पास ये डेटा है, सो दिस इज योर, ये जो आपके पास डेटा है दैट इज योर एक्सपीरियंस। अब इसके ऊपर आपको कोई टास्क परफॉर्म करना है, सो इसके ऊपर आप क्या करोगे, टास्क का मतलब आप इसके ऊपर अपने जो भी आपकी मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिदम्स हैं, सो उनको आप इसके ऊपर लगाओगे, एंड आप उनको लगा के क्या करोगे, अपने मॉडल को बेसिकली ट्रेन करोगे। ओके, एंड आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग ऑफ योर मॉडल, ठीक है, अब हमेशा अब आप बेसिकली क्या करते हो, देयर इज टू थिंग्स, यू कैन डायरेक्टली डिप्लॉय योर मॉडल। ओके, आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग यू कैन डायरेक्टली डिप्लॉय योर मॉडल। बेसिकली आप क्या कर सकते हो, आप ट्रेनिंग आपने कर ली, आपने अपने मॉडल को ट्रेन कर दिया, एंड यू हैव अ कॉन्फिडेंट ऑन योर सेल्फ दैट योर मॉडल इज 100% एक्यूरेट, एंड यू कैन डायरेक्टली डिप्लॉय योर मॉडल। सेकेंड थिंग, आप अपने मॉडल को क्या कर सकते हो, अपने मॉडल को आप ट्रेन करोगे, आप अपने मॉडल को टेस्ट करोगे, वेदर आप खुद चेक करोगे कि आपका मॉडल बेसिकली अच्छा काम कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है, वेदर इट परफॉर्मेंस इज गुड और बैड, एंड आफ्टर दैट यू आर गोइंग टू डिप्लॉय दैट मॉडल। ओके, सो बेसिकली हम करते यही है, हम बेसिकली क्या करते हैं, हम पहले अपने मॉडल को हम ट्रेन करते हैं, एंड देन वी टेस्ट आवर मॉडल, एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू डिप्लॉय आवर मॉडल। ओके, सो बेसिकली ट्रेन और टेस्ट हम करते कैसे हैं कि यहाँ पे आप क्या करते हो, यहाँ पे आप अपने डेटा, जो आपकी डेटा सेट है, ये आपका जो कंप्लीट डेटा है, इसको आप बेसिकली एक रेशियो में ब्रेक कर लेते हो। बेसिकली आप इसको क्या करते हो, आप इसको 70:30 की रेशियो में ब्रेक कर लेते हो। ओके, सो 70% डेटा मीन्स यहाँ पे आप 70 पेसेस के डेटा के ऊपर आप अपनी ट्रेनिंग को परफॉर्म करोगे, ठीक है, आप अपने एल्गोरिथम्स को लगाओगे 70 पेसेस के ऊपर, एंड आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग योर डेटा ऑन दिस 70 पेसेस, आप 30 पेसेस के ऊपर अपने मॉडल को टेस्ट करोगे वेदर इट इज परफॉर्मिंग गुड और बैड। ओके, अगर इसका परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा होगा देन आप क्या करोगे, देन नेक्स्ट स्टेप आप बेसिकली इसको डिप्लॉय कर दोगे। मीन्स आप इस मॉडल को अब मार्केट में, हॉस्पिटल में आप इसको लॉन्च कर सकते हो। यस, आई हैव मेड दिस मॉडल एंड यू कैन डेफिनेटली यूज इट बिकॉज यहाँ पे जो आपका मेरा परफॉर्मेंस आ रहा है मॉडल का वो अच्छा आ रहा है, ठीक है, वो बेसिकली वेरी गुड है। सो these are the things. So basically सुपरवाइज मशीन लर्निंग के अंदर आपके पास क्या होता है, आपके पास बेसिकली ये लेबल्स दिए हुए होते हैं, ठीक है। अनसुपरवाइज्ड के अंदर बेसिकली ये लेबल जो आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पे, अनसुपरवाइज्ड के अंदर ये लेबल बेसिकली नहीं दिए होते हैं, ठीक है। सो विल सी दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम इन अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग, but before that we want to basically I want to explain you this thing. Okay, so this is basically supervised learning. So basically supervised learning के अंदर आपका क्या होता है, you have some training data, okay, x and y. So x and y here means x and y basically your this thing, okay, so this thing is your x, and this label, okay, so means S, L and BP means sugar level and blood pressure is your X, and C whether the person is having a cancer or not is your Y. Okay, so this is your this is called basically feature value. This is your feature value because this is your features. Okay, and this Y is called a predicted value. This is your prediction. Okay, you are not accurate, you are making a prediction whether the person is having a cancer or not. Okay, so yes, then after you get this training data, you what you do, you just try to fit a learning algorithm. So you have a different kind of learning algorithm, like you have some linear logistic regression, decision trees. So there are different kinds of learning algorithm. Okay, so you have a different kind of learning algorithm. You just need to put this x and y in this learning algorithm. Okay, so you just fit this x and y in this learning algorithm. Then after fitting this x and y in this learning algorithm, you build this kind of a model. Okay, so you build one model, and then there is a 30% of data which is unseen. Okay, so testing का मतलब कि आपने उस डेटा को अभी तक देखा नहीं है. Okay, so that is your testing data. So that is 30% of the data is unseen. So then you check the model performance on unseen data, and you get some predicted y. Okay, so after बेसिकली आपको क्या मिलेगा यहाँ पे, जब आप टेस्ट डेटा के पास जाओगे तो आपको यहाँ पे सम प्रेडिक्टेड वाई. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड वाई हैट, दिस इज कॉल्ड अ प्रेडिक्टेड वाई, ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट एक्चुअल वाई. And then you are basically after that you are definitely going to find out the difference between the predicted y and the actual y. And देयर इज सम एरर, ठीक है, वहां पे कुछ एरर होंगी क्योंकि आप 100% प्रिडिक्ट आपका हो सकता है, आपने जो मॉडल बनाया वो 100% एक्यूरेट ना हो, ठीक है, सो वहां पे कुछ एरर आएगी, देन आप उसको मिनिमाइज करोगे. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट दिस इज द बेसिकली ब्लैक बॉक्स थ्योरी ऑफ सुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग. ओके, सो दिस इज a whole black box theory of supervised learning. You have some training data, you fit your learning algorithm on that training data, then you build a kind of a model, then you test that model which on unseen data, and then you get some predicted y. Okay, so you then you get some prediction. Okay, and based on that prediction you made an assumption whether whether the performance of your model is good or bad. Okay, so this is the complete story of basically a supervised learning. I think this is clear to all of you. Okay, so anyone having any doubt, please write in the chat box. Okay. But we will use 75%. Okay, fine. So in basically in supervised learning also there are two kind of problem. There are two kind of problem. Like one is your classification problem and one is your regression problem. Okay. So in supervised learning also there are two kind of problem. Okay. So just supervised learning. Okay, so in supervised learning there are two kind of a problem, like one is a classification problem. Okay, so one is called a classification problem and another one is your regression problem. Okay, So what is a regression problem? So regression problem comes where you want to predict some kind of value. Okay, you want to predict some kind of value, like you have a continuous variable. Okay, so you want to predict a score. Okay, so score of what, like in IPL matches, you have a data of 5 overs. Okay, so suppose in first 6 overs, so in a power play, suppose a team made 42 runs in on a loss of 1 wicket. Okay, so you have this data, that 42 runs on the loss of 1 wicket, and you know that who is the batting team and who is the bowling team. So suppose this is data of Mumbai Indians. So Mumbai Indians have 42 for 1 in 6 over, and suppose the opposition team is, suppose, CSK's Chennai Super Kings. Now you want to predict how much Mumbai Indians will going to score in 20 over. Okay, so this kind of prediction, you are basically when you have to predict some value, some numbers, then then your problem is basically a regression kind of a problem. Okay, when you have to predict some value, then that is called a regression problem. Okay, so now you build a model, now you apply some machine learning algorithm, and you build some kind of model, and that model will predict how much Mumbai Indians will going to score in 20 over. Okay, so I know if Mumbai Indians is a very good team, and there are a lot of players who is very good in in middle order, so I can predict that, yes. Instead, if there is 42 runs in 6 overs after loss of 1 wicket, so I know there are so many players in this team, so they are definitely going to make 180. Okay, so this is my prediction. So basically, this kind of prediction done by your model, and you basically and we are going to learn this all these things, and at the end of the session I will show you that we already built this kind of model where we basically predict how many scores the team will going to uh, basically will going to score in at the end of the first inning. Okay, so this is called a regression problem. Then the same you can see in the stock price prediction. Okay, so in stock price prediction, you also you have to predict some price. So price is also your continuous data. Okay, so price is also your number. So in this place also you have to predict some numbers. So this is also a regression problem. Then then you can say a cell prediction. Okay, so if you want to predict some cell, or then if you want to predict price of house, so price of some house, so that is also comes under the regression problem. Okay, in the same contrast, what is the classification problem? So classification problem is basically when you have to classify between some classes. Okay, when you have to predict some classes. Okay, so suppose you have a different kind of classes. So basically, what are the classes, like in the last previous page, we learn that we have to predict whether the person is having cancer or not. Okay, so yes or no. So yes or no is basically your classes. Okay, so yes or no is basically your classes. So whether a person is having a cancer or not is basically your class. So when you have this kind of problem where we have to predict whether a person having a cancer or not, whether a person what type of tumor a person having, whether it is malignant or benign. Okay, then you can also predict, like in our day 3, we are going to predict, we are going to make a multi-class image classification. Okay, so in multi-class image classification, we have an image of different cricketers, like we have an image of some image of Sachin Tendulkar, some image of Virat Kohli, and some image of, suppose, Mansingh Dhoni. And now our model is going, now if you give some new image. Okay, some new any new image of, suppose, Dhoni, or suppose Virat, or suppose Sachin. So it will classify whether it is Sachin, or whether it is Virat, or whether it is Dhoni. Okay, so this is called a classification. Okay, where you want to classify between some kind of classes. Okay, so this is called a classification problem where you have to predict a classes. Okay, and the place where we have to predict some numbers, so that is called a regression problem. Okay, so you can easily see this. Okay, yes, so our very first machine learning model is spam filter. So that is a classification problem. Then churn prediction is basically basically each and every company using this churn prediction model. Okay, so what we are doing in churn prediction, basically we see that whether a person is going to resign or not. Okay, so whether our employee is going to resign or not, so that is called a churn prediction. Okay, then conversion prediction, there is some product. Okay, so I think nowadays at each and every big mart or in mall, basically every shopkeepers use this model, whether which product is basically sell a lot. Okay, so they are trying to predict whether a person is going to buy this product or not. Okay, so that is called a conversion prediction. Okay, then cancer detection we already see. Okay, and the same way like in regression model, IPL score prediction, prediction of age. So whenever we are trying to predict some age, whenever we are trying to predict some numbers, so they are basically a regression model. And whenever we are trying to predict between some classes, so they are a classification problem. Okay, then the next thing is called underfitting and overfitting. Okay, so this is basically a problem. This is basically a issue with a machine learning model. Okay, so this is basically a issue with a machine learning model, that is called overfitting and underfitting. Overfitting and underfitting. Okay, so basically, what is underfitting? So first, see what is underfitting. So basically, in underfitting, like suppose you have some data. Okay, you have a scenario where basically there is some uh, okay, there is some year of experience. There is some years of experience, and based on this years of experience, so basically this is your feature. You want to predict a salary. Okay, so based on a year of experience, you want to predict a salary of a person. Okay, so what we have to do basically, so basically this is your data. So basically इस तरीके से आपकी data distributed रहेगी. So this is your data, and blindly you just create one line. Okay, so blindly you create one line and you tell this that this is the line, this is your prediction line. Okay, so this is your prediction line. Okay, and now you can see that this line is not basically not going to touch any of the data point. Okay, it is hardly going to touch one or two data points, and it's not going to touch any of the data point. So this is called this is a problem of underfitting. So what basically what happens in underfitting is there is a term called high bias. Okay, so what is meaning of high bias? Okay, so in simple scenario I can explain you this thing, that what is the meaning of high bias. Suppose I watched a cricket, I watched cricket a lot. Okay, so like I am a fan of suppose I am a fan of MS Dhoni, and I am biased for his performance. So like I know that this is the time when he's going to retire. Okay, and I know that from the past 1 year he is not performing well. Okay, but I am biased, and I always try to I'll always try to means make an assumption that yes, Dhoni is a game changer. Dhoni is a game changer. Okay, so this is called a bias kind of thing. Okay, so I am a fan of MS Dhoni. I am not going to hear you whether and I am not going to basically praise anyone else. Okay, I am not going to praise Virat Kohli. I am not going to praise Suresh Raina. I am not going to praise KL Rahul. Whether they are playing much better from the past 1 year in comparison to MS Dhoni, I am not going to praise them, because I am a big fan of MS Dhoni, and I am highly biased about him. Okay, so that is called a highly biased model. Okay, so in that in basically in a case of underfitting also basically this thing happen. Okay, the model is highly biased. Okay, so like this is a regression problem, but you have one symptom like blood pressure, and you want to predict whether the person is having cancer or not, yes or no. So basically we are highly biased, that our model, so we build a model in that way that the model is highly biased. It is only going to predict yes, whether the person is having cancer or not. It is only going to predict yes. Okay, so this is called a highly biased model, and this is a problem of underfitting. Okay, whether when our data is performed, whether when our data is basically giving bad accuracy. Basically in this scenario, our model is definitely going to give you a bad accuracy. So bad accuracy on training data, and the same bad accuracy on testing data as well. Okay, so this is a problem of underfitting. Then in overfitting, what will happen in an overfitting? So in overfitting, what we have to do, simply the same, I will take the same data set. Okay, I will take the same data set, and this is your blood pressure, and this is yes or no. Okay, so what will happen here? Basically, you are trying to build this kind of a model. Okay, so what is the definition of machine learning? I think on very start I give you the best definition of machine learning, that machine learning is used to find out the pattern in your data. Okay, but this is not any kind of a pattern. Okay, so this does not gives you any kind of a, so this is not a generalized model. This is not a generalized model. Basically अब यहाँ पे ये क्या कर रहा है, ये हर एक पॉइंट को बेसिकली प्रिडिक्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, ये हर एक पॉइंट के पास जा रहा है. ओके, so yes, it will perform good on a training data set, but its accuracy is worst in our testing data set. Okay, so I will give you a very good example. Like you have a exam of some subject, like you have an exam of a mathematics on suppose on Monday, and I will give you, and I'm your teacher who made this mathematics paper. Okay, and I will give you a mathematics, and I will give you a paper, and along with the solution, you just go and read that questions and solution, and you just memorize that solution by heart. Okay, and on Monday, on your examination day, you are definitely going to score 100 of 100 out of 100. Okay, so in mathematics paper you scored 100 out of 100. Okay, because you have a question paper and you have a solution as well. Okay, but suppose suppose any circumstances occur and that paper is declared as null. Okay, and the very next day the college announces that so this paper is null, and basically we are not going to consider this marks. And on Wednesday you again have you again have a mathematics paper. Okay, and this time I don't have a question paper. So this time when you again appeared in exam, so definitely you are definitely going to score only 40 or 50 out of 100, or maybe less than that. Okay, so that is called that is a problem of overfitting. Okay, so in overfitting condition, in basically at the time of training your accuracy is very good. Okay, because you memorize your data very well, but on unseen data. Okay, so because why training accuracy is good, because at the time of training you are going to you made this kind of a pattern. Okay, you are going to make this kind of a curve. You touch each and every points, you touch each and every point. Okay, हर एक पॉइंट को आपने कंसीडर करने की कोशिश की है, बट एट द टाइम ऑफ टेस्टिंग व्हेन यू हैव unseen data, so at that time your accuracy is worst, because you didn't make a generalized kind of model. You didn't make a generalized pattern. Okay, so that is called overfitting. Okay, so this is called appropriate fitting. Okay, so whether basically यहाँ पे आपके पास कुछ errors हो रही हैं. Yes, definitely there is some error. ओके सो रेड एंड ब्लू पॉइंट्स के बीच में बेसिकली कुछ रेड पॉइंट्स यहाँ पे आ गए, बट दिस इज अ जनरलाइज्ड मॉडल. Okay, this model is going to give you the same accuracy on training and testing set, but this model is definitely not going you a good accuracy on your testing data. Okay, so this is the problem of overfitting, and you already know the problem of underfitting. And underfitting is not going to give you any kind of prediction problem. Okay, it will give you worst accuracy at both the data, whether it is training or testing. Okay, now the second now the second task, that what is unsupervised learning. Okay, so I will already told you that what is unsupervised learning. So in unsupervised learning, you don't have a labeled data. You don't know that what you are trying to predict. Okay, so like in supervised learning, you have your labeled data. Like yeah, you already know that you are trying to predict whether the person is having a cancer or not. Okay, so you already know that thing, that what you are what you are going to predict. You are going to predict whether the person is having a cancer or not. Okay, and in any kind of problem, like in spam filtering, you already know that you have to predict whether the mail is spam or not. Okay, so basically in supervised learning, you already know that what are you trying to predict, but in unsupervised learning you don't know this. You don't have a label data. Okay, so in unsupervised learning, what is your goal? In unsupervised learning, the goal is to discover a group of similar examples. Okay, so you means you make some kind of cluster. Okay, you make some kind of cluster. मतलब आप एक तरीके के जो मतलब similar, suppose there is some similarity in data. Okay, so you cluster a similar kind of people at one place. Okay, so that is called unsupervised learning. Okay, you don't have any kind of prediction label, so you simply have to cluster same kind of people. Means you have to cluster a kind of people which who are having who are having a same property. Okay, so now you can understand this thing with this example. What is unsupervised learning? So unsupervised learning. Okay, so I will give you a very simple example so that you can easily understand that what is unsupervised learning. Suppose this is a kind of graph, and suppose this is in x-axis there is some age, and in y-axis there is some expenditure. Okay, now you don't have any basically any label data. So suppose there are some people whose age is less. There are some people basically whose age is less, and their expenditure is also less. Okay. Then there are some people whose age is greater, but their expenditure is less. Okay. Now there are some people whose expenditure is high, but their age is less. Then there are some another kind of people whose basically age is high and expenditure is high, also high. Okay, so now अब आपको क्या करना है, बेसिकली ये जो आपके डेटा पॉइंट्स हैं इनको आप खुद लेबल करोगे. ठीक है, इनके कोई लेबल दिए नहीं हुए, इनको आप बेसिकली खुद लेबल करोगे. ओके, सो सपोज बेसिकली जब आपकी एज कम है, सो जाहिर सी बात है, हो सकता है आपकी इनकम भी कम हो. बेसिकली अगर मेरी एज कम है, सपोज आई एम सपोज किसी की एज 20 से कम है या 24 से कम है, एंड दे आर जस्ट इन अ ग्रेजुएशन काइंड ऑफ थिंग. सो अब उनके पास उनकी खुद की इनकम नहीं है, एंड बेसिकली उनकी अगर इनकम है भी तो वो स्टार्टिंग इनकम है. सो इनकम वहाँ पे कम है. ठीक है, सो ये जो लोग हैं बेसिकली दीज आर द पीपल जिनकी इनकम की कम है और उनके एक्सपेंडिचर भी कम है. सो बेसिकली आप क्या बोलोगे, they are a mature kind of people. ठीक है, you आप बोल सकते हो they are mature kind of people because इनकी एज कम, इनके पास इनकी सैलरी कम होगी या इनकी इनकम कम होगी, so ये खर्च भी उसी हिसाब से करते हैं. Okay. Then there are some people whose age is basically high and whose but expenditure is not high. ठीक है, so basically they are आप बोल सकते हो they are sent kind of people, or they are आप बोल सकते हो they are common men, they are middle class people. So in a middle class family, like our father, so they are not going to expend much, whether they have along with basically जैसे जैसे उनकी एज इंक्रीज हो रही है, जैसे जैसे बेसिकली उनकी पोस्ट इंक्रीज हो रही है, तो वहाँ पे उनकी एक्सपेंडिचर, वहाँ पे उनकी सैलरी भी इंक्रीज हो रही है. सो बट लाइक if they are employee, okay, so but at the same time they are not going to expend much. ठीक है, भले उनकी जो सैलरी है वो इंक्रीज होती जाए, बट वो बेसिकली कॉमन मैन की तरह उनकी आदत पड़ गई है, एंड दे आर नॉट they are happy to live that kind of life. Okay, so आप बोल सकते हो they are basically a common man, common people. Okay, आम आदमी. Then there that this is the third cluster. Okay, so what is it? Basically age is less but expenditure is very high, so you can say that they are kind of careless people. Okay, so if age is less, so they don't have their, maybe they don't have their own income, or they have very less income, but their expenditure is high, so they can be considered as careless people. Okay, now these people's, okay, so along with age, if they're basically so you can say that they are basically high class people, or businessmen. Okay, so basically जब इनकी एज कम थी और जब इनके बिजनेस स्टार्ट हुआ था, तो एट दैट टाइम इनकी एक्सपेंडिचर कम थी, पर जैसे जैसे इनका बिजनेस बढ़ता गया, जैसे जैसे इनके पास पैसे आते गए, वैसे वैसे इन्होंने अपनी बेसिकली वे ऑफ लिविंग को भी इंक्रीज किया. सो इनकी वे ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज हुई, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज हुई, सो दे आर एंड बेसिकली उसके साथ साथ इनके एक्सपेंडिचर भी इंक्रीज हुए. सो आप बोल सकते हो दे आर हाई क्लास पीपल, और दे आर middle class people, they are mature kind of people, and they are careless kind of people. Okay, so we don't have these labels, like we don't have this careless label, we don't have this mature label, we don't have this middle class label, or we don't have this high class label, but we classify, we basically labeled them after basically after clustering them. Okay, so हमने क्या किया, हमने basically same kind of people के जिनकी property basically match करे थे, उनको एक साथ रखा, उनको एक साथ cluster किया, and then we labeled that cluster. Okay, so after making a cluster we just label them. Okay, so this is called unsupervised learning. So in unsupervised learning we just have two features, like we have a feature age and expenditure. Sorry, okay, so we only have X and expenditure, these two features. We don't have any like we don't have any salary or any kind of label. Okay, but with the help of these two labels, with the help of these two features, we just make a cluster, and after making a cluster we just label that clusters. Okay, so this is called unsupervised learning. Okay, I think this example is I think with the help of this example, the unsupervised learning is very clear to all of you guys. Okay, so if you have any query with this unsupervised learning, you can simply ask. I think this example made many things clear. Okay, then yes, again in supervised learning also there's two kinds of problem, like clustering. So you already know what is clustering. Like you can see in this picture, there are three different kinds of cluster. One is green color, one is of red color, and one is of blue color. Okay, so basically categorization of sample based on similarity in features. Okay, so based on similar feature we just cluster we just clusters all these things. Okay, so these are basically clustering clustering kind of thing in unsupervised learning. Then there is one thing that is called anomaly detection. So what is anomaly detection? Actually we just find a general pattern. Okay, so anomaly detection, I give you a very good example of anomaly detection, and that is kind of a recommendation system as well. Okay, so I think in Mintra, when you shop, when you buy something, okay, or when you buy, or in I think at every shopping cart, a shopping site like in Amazon or Flipkart. So when you click on some ad, or when you click on some t-shirts, or you again and again just add to cart, just you just add some things like in your cart, and you just go and click again and again. So after few day, after few time, after some time, you are getting ads of that particular item on on each and every your social media sites, like on your on your Instagram or your Facebook. You are getting ad of you are just getting ad of that basically item. Okay, so that is called recommendation system. Okay, so they already know that you are interested in that item, and they are trying to they are just trying that आप बेसिकली उस आइटम को भूलो मत, एंड आप जल्दी से जल्दी उस आइटम को परचेज कर लो. So they're trying to they're trying to make this kind of recommendation system. Okay, and I think Mintra is doing a very fantastic job. Like if you buy something for someone else, okay, and so Mintra ask you some relevant questions, like what is the gender of that person, and then what is a, suppose you buy a shoes for that person, so what are the size of shoes, and what are the color, and what are the basically preference, means what type of shoes they prefer. Okay, so the next time when you try to search shoes for you or for anyone else, so they just ask you whether the person is same or not. If you click yes, if you click yes, then they're trying to recommend the same kind of product, the similar kind of product which you buy last time. Okay, so this is a recommendation system. So this is called anomaly detection, basically a general pattern. So basically they are trying to verify the general pattern, the general trend in your data, and on the basis of that general trend or general pattern, they basically recommend you some products, or they recommend you, like YouTube recommends you some videos. In Amazon Prime also you can see this kind of thing. So they recommend you some kinds of movies, some kinds of series. So this is all this is basically unsupervised, this is all a part of unsupervised machine learning. Okay, so that is all basically from unsupervised machine learning. Then our main goal, what we are you are going to see in, on the third day of this boot camp. So that is basically a part of deep learning. Okay, so basically deep learning is again the subset of machine learning, and you already know that machine learning is subset of artificial intelligence, AI. So basically AI is what AI basically आपको मशीन को वो काम करवाना है जो आप काम पहले से करते आ रहे हो. So it try to mimic the human behavior. Okay, so artificial intelligence is a technology which is trying to mimic the human behavior. Okay, so that is called artificial intelligence. In the same contrast, so machine learning is the subset of AI, and your deep learning is again the subset of your machine learning. Okay, so this is not our concern. So our main concern is that we already have our knowledge of machine learning. We already know what is machine learning. So what is the need of deep learning? So and what basically what are the things which are basically enhanced or which are basically improved in in deep learning? Okay, so I will talk about this. So basically. Uh, Broadly, okay, so deep learning is basically there are some. So basically, this is the main vision: feature extraction plus classification. Okay, so I will explain you this thing. Basically what happened with what are the problem with machine learning is basically machine learning is good when you have a small amount of data. Okay, a small amount of data. So machine learning cannot handle a huge amount of data. Okay, huge amount of data. So this is a very first thing. Basically, this is a very first issue with the machine learning. So basically, deep learning can handle any amount of data. So this is the first thing which is improved in terms of deep learning. And the second thing and the most important thing is basically in terms of machine learning you have आपके पास क्या होगा आपके पास some prediction you have some prediction object. Okay, so you have some prediction object like you want to predict something like you want to predict whether the patient having a cancer or not, or whether basically whether the mail is spam or not. Okay, so whether the mail is spam or not. Okay, so basically you have some prediction object, and you have to basically fit this basically अब आपको क्या करना है कि ये प्रेडिक्शन करने के लिए आपको इसके कुछ फीचर्स होंगे जो आपको अपने मॉडल को फिट कराने होंगे. सो आप बेसिकली क्या करोगे मैनुअली बेसिकली इसके सारे फीचर्स को आप बेसिकली मैनुअली इसको इस मॉडल को फिट कराओगे, and then this model gives you the prediction whether the mail is spam or not. Okay, so this is the whole idea of machine learning. So machine learning basically doing this kind of thing. Okay, so basically अब इसके अंदर भी क्या होगा, इसके अंदर basically suppose there are some features which is not important and there are some features which is most important. So basically आप most important features और आप मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट फीचर्स को इस अपने मशीन लर्निंग एल्गोरिदम को मैनुअली फीड कराओगे. ओके, so you feed your most important features to your machine learning model manually. Okay, so you manually feed this all this basically your important features. So this is called a feature extraction kind of thing. ओके, सो ये आपको फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन यहाँ पे बेसिकली करना पड़ेगा आपको पहले करके, एंड देन आपको अपने मॉडल को देना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द एंड देन आपका मॉडल जो होगा वो आपको प्रेडिक्ट करके देगा वेदर द मेल इज स्पैम और नॉट. ओके, नाउ in deep learning this thing. Okay, so this feature extraction and this spam filter this basically prediction, ये दोनों थिंग बेसिकली साथ में हो जाती है. बेसिकली अब आपके मॉडल को केवल ये ऑब्जेक्ट देना है, मींस आपके मॉडल को केवल ये बताना है कि व्हाट आर यू आर ट्राइंग टू प्रेडिक्ट. ओके, व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू प्रेडिक्ट. सो बेसिकली आपके मॉडल को केवल ये चीज बतानी है कि आपको बेसिकली प्रेडिक्ट क्या करना है, एंड देन योर मॉडल ऑटोमेटिकली एक्सट्रैक्ट दैट फीचर्स. जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर्स है वो मॉडल खुद ही बेसिकली जो आपका डीप लर्निंग मॉडल होगा वो बेसिकली ये फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन प्लस ये प्रेडिक्शन वाली चीज, क्लासिफिकेशन और प्रेडिक्शन एनी काइंड ऑफ थिंग बेसिकली ये परफॉर्म करेगा, एंड बेसिकली ये आपको रिजल्ट दे देगा. ठीक है, सो बेसिकली यहाँ पे क्या होगा, आपको मैनुअली ये डेटा फीड नहीं कराना पड़ेगा आपके एल्गोरिदम को. इन मशीन लर्निंग आपको क्या करना है, आपको मैनुअली ये डेटा बेसिकली ये फीचर्स आपको मैनुअली फीड कराने हैं आपको आपके मशीन लर्निंग को. But in deep learning, you only give the objective. You only have to give the object. Means you only have to give that what are you trying to predict. Only you have to tell that what are you trying to predict, and your deep learning model is simply extract that features for you and then make a prediction. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम. अगर बेसिकली यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रही है कि अगर मैं फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन और ये चीज कर रहा हूँ, सो सपोज यू हैव अ वेरी लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा, सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दैट thing that basically manually feeding kind of thing is computationally expensive. Okay, so at that point of time your manually feeding जो आप manually feeding करोगे जब basically आपके पास ज्यादा amount of में data होगी, एंड दैट अमाउंट ऑफ एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम अगर आप मैनुअली फीड करोगे एक फीचर अपने डेटा को, सो दैट इज कंप्यूटेशनली एक्सपेंसिव, एंड दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. दैट इज बेसिकली प्रैक्टिकली नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, when you have a huge volume of data. Okay, but in terms of deep learning, it is very easy to basically feed that. You just have to feed that objective. You just tell your model that what are the objective, what are you trying to predict, and then your model simply extract that important features and make prediction for you. Okay, so this is the basically this is important concept of deep learning. This is basically improvement in deep learning. Okay, and the second thing, okay, so one more important thing is that machine learning is can only handle a structured kind of data. Okay, so it can only handle a structured kind of data. Means you means it cannot handle like if like a speech recognition system. Okay, so in the speech recognition system, you don't have a structured kind of data. You have a unstructured kind of data. Okay, so in speech recognition system, you have a unstructured kind of data, and there is means a translation like English to Hindi or Hindi to English translation. So at that time also you don't have basically you don't have a structured kind of data. That is that all means the all real world cases, they contain a unstructured kind of data. Okay, like language translation or speech recognition. So they all are basically unstructured kind of data. Okay, so machine learning is not basically willing to handle this unstructured kind of data, but yes, deep learning can easily handle this unstructured kind of data. Okay, so that is why deep learning comes into the picture, and the man behind this concept of deep learning is Geoffrey Hinton, who introduced this thing in 2006. Geoffrey Hinton. Okay, so he is the godfather of basically deep learning. And basically all these things basically in deep learning, why this the name is basically deep learning. So why the name is basically deep learning is because of this term neural network. So there is one thing in deep learning which is called a neural network. So basically this neural network is a kind of structure which is having some depth. Okay, so which is having some depth for the model building process. Okay, so that is why it is called deep learning. Okay, so we will in the next day, in day 2, I will explain you that what is the neural network, and what how the neural network basically works. Okay, so you can see here the deep learning refers to the depth of the network. Okay, so there is definitely some depth in your in your network. So that is why it is called deep learning. So I will explain you this layer. So this is the basically construction of neural network. So I will explain you this thing that what is this neural network and how it basically works. Okay, so I will explain you this thing with example. Like if you give some uh, input features, so what will happen after that? Okay, so how you will get some prediction. So we will learn this thing in day 2. Okay, okay, guys. So this is enough for basically. Okay, so basically this is enough for today, and this is the whole idea of machine learning. So if you guys have any kind of problem or any kind of question, so you can ask in a chat box. Okay, so I can reply your query. And one more thing. Okay, so one more thing is that कि basically आपको ये जब आपको मैं मल्टी क्लास इमेज क्लासिफिकेशन ऑन थर्ड डे आपको ये बताऊंगा, एंड बेसिकली आपका जो स्कोर प्रोडिक्शन वाली चीज़ है, जो आपको बेसिकली ड्राइव की लिंक मिल जाएगी। तो बेसिकली आपको ये सारी चीज़ें रन करानी है। सो फॉर दैट पर्पस आपको 3 चीज़ें इंस्टॉल करनी पड़ेंगी। सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज़ योर पाइथन 3.6 प्लस, पाइथन वर्जन 3.6 प्लस. Okay, so I think I will give you the link. of that Python जहाँ से आपको Python 3.6 plus डाउनलोड करना है. Okay, so you just go to the website python.org, and from this site you have to download uh, uh, Python 3.6. Okay, so यहाँ पे आपको Python 3.8 available है, but I recommend you that download Python 3.6.9 or Python 3.7. So 3.7 plus means any version of 3.7 or 3.6.9 is good. Okay, because the 3.8.5 is a latest version, so many things is not basically uh, there are many features which is not available in this 3.8.5. Okay, so I recommended you to download 3.6.9 or 3.7. Okay, any version of 3.7. Then the second thing, जहाँ पे basically आपकी चीजें run करेंगी, so the second link I will provide you the Anaconda. Okay, so you have to download this Anaconda from Anaconda download, and बेसिकली आपको एनाकोंडा डाउनलोड करना है. एंड यस, यू कैन सी हियर. सो यस, so Python 3.8, so for Windows user, for Mac OS and for Linux users. Okay, so based on your graphical आपकी जो भी requirement है उसके according 64 bit और 32 bit you have to install this. Okay, so this is the requirement, and the third requirement is basically your PyCharm. Okay, so third requirement is PyCharm. All the links are given in a chat box, so you just go through that link. So you have to download this community version. Okay, you don't have to download this professional version. You have to download this community version. Okay, guys. So I think this will be okay for you guys. Okay, so now I will take some questions. Like one question from Sunkara. Okay, Kumar. Deep learning is for unstructured and ML for structured, right, sir? Yes. Deep learning is for both structured and unstructured. So deep learning can handle both kind of data. Like it can handle structured kind of data also, and can handle unstructured kind of data. Okay, and basically ML is basically handle your unstructured kind of data, but it does not gives you any kind of accuracy. The performance is worst if you try to handle unstructured kind of data with ML algorithm. So the performance is worst in that scenario. Okay, I think this is clear to you. uh, what is the name? Sunkara. Okay, so you can reply me if your query is clear. Okay, fine. Then the second question, will be implementing this concept on projects in session. We will implement one concept like which is our basically main uh, objective, like multi-class image classification. So I think I will already give you the PDF file where we mention that thing. So in the day 3 we will implement that thing, multi-class image classification. Okay, so in multi-class image for classification you have different images of different cricketers or different means any kind of personality, and your model will predict if you give any image to that model, it will predict whether he is basically Sachin Tendulkar or he is Virat Kohli or anyone. Okay, so we will implement this model on the day 3. Okay, Ayush Pandit. Then I think can you give any recording? Yes, you will definitely get the recording. You have this I think sir will already say YouTube link, and you will definitely get the recording of this thing. Okay, don't worry about that. Then Harshit, Adya, sir, I have Python 3.8. Why 8.1? Do I have? No, you don't have to download it again. The only thing, Harshita, is basically uh, not in a boot camp, but whenever when our class when our class will start. So at that point of time, we basically create an environment for any different kind of a प्रोजेक्ट ओके सो दैट बेसिकली अगर हम एनवायरनमेंट हर एक प्रोजेक्ट के लिए अलग अलग एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करते हैं सो उससे एक फायदा होता है कि हमारे बेसिकली सिस्टम के अंदर गार्बेज कलेक्शन नहीं होता ओके सो आई थिंक इफ यू हैव 3.8.1 so that is not an issue at the time of creation of environment if there is a need of python 3.6 so we can give instruction to our system that uh, go with python 3.6.9 okay and that will work so you don't have to download it again then Snehas's sorry sit can I get yes you will definitely get the recording anaconda was for 3.8 yeah it is showing you python 3.8 but it is compatible for 3.6.9 and 3.7 as well okay Pranay Kumar Tripur okay so जिसकी भी basically query clear हो जा रही है so they can write down yes do we have download anaconda 3. No Pranay Kumar it's basically it's a updated version of anaconda so you can download this 3.8 not an issue. Sir, can you give the link of machine learning course? Machine learning course link means you want a PDF of that course structure. Okay, so I think you want that. Okay, so okay, fine. All of you get the course. We have basically different kind of course structure. Okay, so I think at the time of registration, you already seen that there are 3-4 different kinds of course. Okay, and that course are designed because yeah that course are designed basically on the basis of your interest okay so if you're interested in machine learning course so you will get that course structure on your email okay so not an issue what is the name Sneha is Bharat okay so you will get an email okay fine Ayush Pandey, yes, sir. What are the sites we will follow to get regular updates of ML and AL? Uh, what are the sites? I didn't get you. What are the sites means any of you are talking about any LinkedIn or Instagram or any of social media sites where you want to get a regular update of ML and AL, or you want a site like IT skills and solution. Our site. What are the things? Uh, Pranay, site of courses. Okay, site of courses. So that is itskillsandsolution.com. I think itskillssolution.com. I think I will give you the link. Okay, so link will be given in a chat box. Just a second. Okay, so you can definitely go on the site and you can see. And for a complete course structure you will get basically Sunkara Nagendra Kumar so you will get a course structure on your email okay so just tell us on a registration link so go on a registration link again and tell us that on which course you are interested okay so I will we will give you I will provide you the link we will provide you the PDF on your email. Okay, so just go on this below link and just register yourself again. Okay, so sir, I have mini conda pre-installed. Is it? Okay, Pranay Kumar, if in a mini conda there is a Jupyter notebook, there is one thing which is called Jupyter notebook. Okay, so in your mini conda, if there is a Jupyter notebook, then you don't need to reinstall you don't need to install full anaconda. I think if you have a lesser version in your system, that's why you downloaded the mini conda. Or else, if you have good version of if your laptop has means if i3 or i3 plus, so you can download that anaconda. That is beneficial for you. Otherwise at later stage it will give you some problem. Okay, and guys, stay with us for 3 days, and on the last day, I will explain you the course detail in brief. Okay, so don't worry about the course detail. Right now, if you have any query regarding the boot camp, regarding the session, basically अगर कोई चीज ना समझ में आई हो, like unsupervised learning, supervised learning, so if anything that is not clear to you, so that you can ask that kind of question. Okay, so regarding course, you have to register yourself again for a particular course which you want to take, and we will give you the course detail, and we will give you the share with you the that PDF complete course structure. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay guys, so that is enough, and now you can see the magic of score prediction. I think all of you are waiting for the same thing. Okay, so basically this is the score prediction system which is made by us, and okay, so what will happen? Okay, so if you give a batting team in Mumbai Indians, so no, like my favorite team is like Delhi Daredevils, and I will select a bowling team of suppose Kolkata Knight Riders, and I have to give a score that is basically greater than 5 ओवर, मीन्स आपको एटलीस्ट 5 ओवर का डेटा चाहिए प्रिडिक्शन के लिए, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे मैं बेसिकली सपोज मैं 6 ओवर का डेटा दे रहा हूँ, and suppose in 6 overs Delhi Daredevils managed to make suppose 55 runs on board with 2 wickets. In last previous 5 overs, suppose Daredevils make 45 runs, one 10 run in first over I can consider, and wicket taken is suppose 2. Now I can predict the score. So this is the score of first inning. So let's see what are the predictions. So the final predicted score is basically 150 to 167. Okay, so this prediction is totally depend upon the kind of batting order, okay, the kind of bowling order, and basically yes, the kind of batting order, the kind of bowling order, and the who is on strike, who is on non-striker, and so basically this score is this predicted score is basically depend on all these things. Okay, so now I can show you the code that what is the code behind this. Okay, so this is our app.py. So you will learn all these things. What is the flask, and basically किस तरीके से आप ये एक जो ये deployment app आपने create किया है. So I will you will learn all these things in this course. How to create this type of things. Okay, how to connect basically this website, this app with your code. Okay, so you have some code basically. आप मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर हो तो आपने कोई कोड लिखा होगा, एंड आपका जो कोड है आपने बेसिकली इस वेबसाइट से कनेक्ट किया है. सो आई विल टीच यू दैट हाउ टू कनेक्ट दिस टू थिंग्स. सो देयर इज वन थिंग व्हिच इज कॉल्ड फ्लास्क. Flask is act as a bridge between these two things. Okay, and now this is your code. This is basically your code. Okay, so now in this code basically if I okay, so yeah, okay, so basically this is your IPL.csv. IPL.csv is basically your CSV file. Okay, so if you want to see, so basically this is your CSV file. So the CSV means comma separated value. Okay, so this file contains 1 second guys, I will show you in a more proper manner. So this is our Jupyter notebook. So basically इसी notebook के ऊपर हमें सारा काम करना है. And just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Uh, where is IPL? Yeah, score prediction. Okay, fine. So basically this is your CSV file. Okay, so ये CSV file काफी बेहतरीन है. Basically इसके अंदर 2008 from the very first match. So if you remember, I am a very fond of cricket, so I remember this match. So basically if you remember this match, so basically ये match जो हुआ था, so first match between Kolkata Knight Riders and Royal Challengers Bangalore. So at very first point of time, so Saurav Ganguly is on a striker, and then Praveen Kumar is a bowler who bowls a very first ball of this IPL. Then this is the run which is scored on the very first ball on very first ball of over. Run in last 5 over, wickets in last 5 over, striker, non-striker, and total. So this is the total score 222, and I know that Brandon McCallum hit 158 not out. I think he is on 158 not out at that match. So basically, and the total team score is 222. Was 222. ओके सो बेसिकली 2008 से लेके 2018 तक का आपके पास पूरा डेटा है, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट डेटा आप आगे के लिए प्रोडिक्शन कर रहे हो. ठीक है, अब आप वहाँ पे जो आपका आपने बेसिकली यहाँ पे देखा, यहाँ पे आप क्या क्या चीज़ें दे रहे हो. यहाँ पे आप क्या दे रहे हो, आप यहाँ पे बेसिकली आप बोल रहे हो बैटिंग टीम कौन सी है, बॉलिंग टीम कौन सी है. देन आप बेसिकली ओवर बता रहे हो, रन बता रहे हो, विकेट बता रहे हो आखिरी के 5 ओवर में, लास्ट 5 ओवर्स में आपने कितने विकेट लिए हैं, ओवर बता रहे हो एंड विकेट्स बता रहे हो, एंड देन वो आपको टोटल ये वाला प्रिडिक्शन आपको दे रहा है. सो दिस इज योर प्रिडिक्टेड वैल्यू जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं. रिग्रेशन के अंदर हम ये वैल्यू प्रिडिक्ट करते हैं. सो दिस इज योर प्रिडिक्शन, ये आप प्रिडिक्शन कर रहे हो. ओके, सो वेरी लिटिल अमाउंट ऑफ कोड इज रिटर्न. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे बहुत छोटा सा कोड लिखा गया है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज बेसिकली कोड, एंड in our course we will write this code from you can easily after basically after the very after just taking 2-3 class of machine learning, you are able to write this kind of code. Okay, so basically you can definitely build this kind of model with the help of machine learning. So this is, I think this is amazing guys. I think this is amazing stuff. So only with this only this much line of a code, you are able to create this kind of basically this kind of a thing. So this is, I think this is amazing. And I think that all of you guys are now excited to join and to learn this kind of stuff. Okay. uh, Okay, so and you will get this drive link, and on the very first day, on the very first day of induction session, I will tell you that if you installed all these things, so I will tell you that how to basically on the third day I will explain you that how to use this PyCharm, how to use this Anaconda, and how to use this sorry, how to use the Jupyter notebook and how to use this PyCharm. So you if you have this code link, okay, so I will share you the complete link of this code. Okay, this complete code I will share you with you, uh, the link of drive score. Okay, so so you can also see that this kind of a magic. Okay, so it's not and ये basically सारी चीजें basically we have lot of this kind of things. So ये सारी चीजें आपके लिए है, and we already created these things, so you can easily use these things, you can easily implement these things, and you can easily modify these things. Okay, so you can try to, I think IPL is just a 2 month ago, so you can modify this code in a way that you can predict, you can make prediction. Okay, and you can play some dream 11 kind of thing. Okay, so I think this is amazing. And guys, any query from your end? So I think that is enough for today. So now we can we start tomorrow from neural network. Okay guys, so any query from your side? We'll just share the link of that drive. It's a course fee 8,000 for ML. 8,000 for ML. Business is Bharat. There's two. There are two kind of ML. Means one is if you already know Python or not. Okay. So if you already know Python, so that is not 8,000. That is less than 8,000. If you don't know about Python, so then and we will start from Python. Yeah, we will. You will get that information, that fees information on mail. So don't worry about that. And that is not 8,000. If you already know Python, so that is not 8,000. And I think if you know Python also, then also that is not 8,000. That is less than 8,000. Okay, so that is less than 8,000. We provide this all these courses in very affordable ranges, so don't worry about the fees structure. Fees is very, means I can say that in a very affordable range. Just I've already told you guys, so just register yourself again, and we will mail you each and every details, each and every fees details, and course details, PDF of syllabus. So each and everything you will get, you will get. Don't worry about that. And before starting the class, I will take a induction session also, where I explain all complete syllabus. So don't worry about anything, and that is much less than 8,000. Okay guys, so I think nobody have any question right now, so I can okay. So okay guys, so if you guys having don't have any questions, so you guys can leave. Okay, thank you so much guys, thank you so much. Good night. What is the time for tomorrow's session? Same, Mansi, the timing is same, 6 to 8. The timing is same, 6 p.m. Okay. Okay, Muskan Gupta, Pranay Kumar, Shrenu Raju, you guys have any query? If you don't have any query, so guys, you can leave. Thank you so much for joining. We'll continue from tomorrow. Thank you, Pranav Kumar. Thank you so much